Hi, everyone. If you are watching this on replay, this is the easy SEO strategies that you can implement quickly and easily to improve the health of your website and to help with visibility. So I just did this presentation to an audience and forgot to hit record, which quite often I do because I'm so in the moment. So here I am. So anyone who registered but wasn't able to attend, this is your time to get to see the content. And unfortunately, you just won't get to be part of the Q&A. But if you have questions, you can always reach out to me and I will answer your questions offline. So let's start with images. This is strategy number one. This is so easy to implement and it can be very, very powerful for your online visibility and your SEO strategy. Every time you upload an image onto your website, you have an opportunity to add alt text. Alt text is the way you're going to provide information about a graphic or an image that a non-sighted person will be able to hear the details and understand what is on that graphic. So that alt text, typically, the way I do it is I will use my name because my name is searchable. And we're going to use the podcast as an example. So I would say, Robyn Graham is the host of The Robyn Graham Show. In episode 365, she interviewed Rita Berry. The two discussed comparative analysis and consumer analysis to improve marketing strategies. On the podcast graphic is a photo of Robyn to the right of the graphic. She is wearing, and then I would have a detail of what I'm wearing, what I look like, and that I'm facing the camera and smiling. And then I would say also on the image is, or also on the graphic is an image of Rita Berry in a circle in the center of the graphic. And then I would describe her, and then I would describe the text that is on the graphic. For example, the title of the image and the episode number. Now, that's our description of that's our alt text for the image. Then what I do is I take that first part, the first part of the description that I used in the alt text that said, Robyn Graham is the host of The Robyn Graham Show. In episode 365, she interviewed Rita Berry. The two talked about blah, 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 blah. Then I would put that in the description. I do not put, to be clear, I do not put any of the other information about the graphic, the description of the pictures or anything like that in the description. I only put that first part using the key phrases in the actual description. And then I put a title. And when I do it, I actually title the image in Canva before I bring it into the website. And that title will have the key phrase as well. So for example, if my key phrase is comparative analysis, the key phrase in the description would be like the title of whatever the episode was. And then that is going to have the key phrase. So then it's searchable. Now, the other thing that I want to emphasize about the images is size. You never want your image to be greater than 800 pixels on the longest side. So if it's a square, 800 by 800. If it's a rectangle, it'd be 800 by 600 or 800 by 400, something like that. So you want to make sure that it's no more than 800 pixels on the longest side. The reason being, the larger the image is, the longer it's going to take for the page to load, the slower your site's going to be. And the health of your site is critical for search engines to be able to find you and rank you and understand what you have on your site. So you want your site to be healthy and load quickly. Okay, backlinks are the next thing we talked about. Your backlinks are critical, and we have internal links and we have external links. Those internal links are links from page to page, page to post, blog post, or post to post. We want to make sure that those links are correct, and we want to make sure if any of those links change, that we have a redirect to the new link so that those links, the previous links, the original links, are not perceived as broken. and do not send people where they're meant to send them. Your post to post links, for example, will be from blog post to blog post. So if you write a blog post about marketing and you're talking specifically about comparative analysis, but in the post you mention other marketing strategies, for example, SEO, you can then link that blog post to a blog post specific about SEO. And that keeps your viewers on your site longer. So they're going from one post to another post to learn more, read more. But here's the key. You're directing them to where you want them to go and how you want them to consume your copy, your content that you're putting on your site. And this is also important for search engines to be able to follow that roadmap, so to speak, as to where you want them to go on your site. When we're talking about page to page links, that would be from your homepage to your about page. So for example, on your homepage, you always want to have an image of you so that any viewers to your site can automatically make that emotional connection with you. See that you're the owner of the business. You're the mind behind the business. You're the one they're going to be working with. So, or the one that's directing other people that they'll be working with. So your image should be front and center. And then you should have a little bit of a brief introduction to yourself, and then send them over to the about page to learn more. And that way you're going from one page to another page. Your about page is probably going to have information about how you work with your clients. So then you can send them over to your services page. Every page on your site should have a link coming into it from another page on your site. If it doesn't, that's what we call an orphan page because it has no links. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to abandon a page. We always want to make sure that there's traffic being directed to that page. Now, the backlinks from external sites, sometimes you would think you don't have a lot of control over those, and you don't. However, you can run reports to see if there are any broken links coming to your site. So for example, if you changed a URL and you didn't have a redirect, but someone out there has that old URL, that's going to be considered a broken link, and that influences the health of your website. If you're writing a blog post or even linking to an article from your homepage that is off-site, you want to make sure that that link is going to a healthy site, a reputable site, and that link is safe and accurate. When you up or add that link, hyperlink that link, you want to make sure that you have that link open in a new window because you are taking them off of your site. And you want to keep your site open. You want them to keep your site open so they can easily click back to it and not have to do like the back arrow until they get back to your site. But it also just looks better when your site stays open. The next thing I want to talk about is the header hierarchy. And this is when you're writing copy on any page on your site, your homepage, your about page, your services page, and your blog post. You want to create an outline, so to speak, that directs people through your content. As you're doing that, you're going to start with an H1 header. That H1 header is almost always the title of the page, or it could be the text, the copy that you put on the header image, the banner image. That text should not be pre-typed on a graphic or image. It should be typed after the image is uploaded to your site. So the text on the hero image, the banner image is your header text. It's the title of your page. And you want to make sure that's an H1 header. And you want to make sure it's on the graphic from the site, not being uploaded already there. Because if it's already on the graphic and you haven't typed it in your website, search engines aren't going to see it. They're not going to be able to find it. And that H1 text is very important for having your key phrase and then giving the person, the viewer, a hook so that they see that you see them, you understand why they're coming to your site, and you're here to provide a solution for them. So from the H1, then we go to H2. H2 is a section in and of itself, but just directly under that H2, you need to have paragraph type and that paragraph font, and that paragraph font will have a sentence with your key phrase in it, preferably in the first sentence and close to the beginning, because that directs the search engines to what this page is about, what this content is about. So they're going to see it in the header, and then they're going to come to the paragraph font, and that is their indication that this is what this is about. From there, you go to H3, then you go to paragraph font, then you go to H3 again, paragraph font, and then from there you can go H4 to H5. You want to have paragraph font, paragraph text in between your headings and subheadings. And you want to do that because you think people are scrolling, right? They're skimming. They want to be able to go through quickly. You want to use your key phrase throughout those different levels of headers and subheaders. And then you want to have your key phrase in your copy once for every 200 words. Key phrase once for every 200 words minimum. You don't want to overstuff your pages or your post with your key phrase. So be cautious of that. But as a rule, you can use it once per every 200 words. You do not want your sentences to be over 20 words. And this is just for readability, but readability impacts SEO. You don't want your paragraphs to be more than 150 words, and you don't want your sections to be more than 300 words. These are just basic tools or concepts that you can follow to make sure that your copy is well written and your readability is good, and therefore your SEO will help optimize your SEO. Okay, there were questions when I originally did this presentation, and I've kind of run through this quickly. A lot of the questions were related to the images, which I covered the answers to those questions when I was speaking just now. One question, however, that I didn't cover was related to the images and having multiple images in, say, a blog post. One of the people on the previous presentation call, she actually was putting an image in every section of her blog post. And the reason she was doing that was someone had told her that that's good to break up the content and for people who are visual. There's nothing wrong with what she was doing. However, if you're consuming content on a mobile device, those pictures are going to take a long time to scroll through. Also, if they aren't sized appropriately, they're going to slow down the site. They're going to slow down the loading of the page or the post. And over time, that volume of images, even if they're sized correctly, they're still going to cause the weight of the website to be heavy and slow it down. My perspective is that I'm a very visual person, but all those images would be a distraction for me. Especially if they're stock photos, which hers were. So just be mindful of that. What does your audience want? What do they need from you? What are they expecting when they consume your content? If they love stock images, great. But chances are they're there to get content that is meaningful and that they can have a takeaway and get action or take action and get a result, versus just scrolling through pretty pictures. Now, if you're a photographer, hands down, images are key. You want to showcase your work. That is how people are going to decide whether or not to hire you or buy from you. So just food for thought on the images on your blog post. Of course, on your homepage, your about page, absolutely, you need more than one image. You can have different sections, with different backdrops and things like that. Keep it simple, though. Keep it clean. Keep it crisp, but be consistent. All right, that's it. Those are the strategies I have for you today. So hopefully you can watch the replay, get some gold nuggets, takeaways, and then start implementing on your site to have a healthy site and optimize your SEO for more visibility. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email at info@therobyngraham.com. or the team at robyngraham.com, and we will get back to you with answers. I am offering for today only, January 21st, since it is my birthday, I am offering a coupon for 1 month free in our 6-month group coaching program. So it's a value of $497, and the code is all capitals BDAY 2025, BDAY, all caps 2025. So if you're interested in that, you can check out our community. And I am going to, let's see if I can do this. And if you can see this, I'm going to put the link in the chat and hopefully you can see that, but it is there, and I will add that to the email with the replay. All right, thank you for watching. And if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next month on the free training that I do in February. Watch the emails for that information. See you soon.